What's going on, everybody? My name is Monatui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays. Today I'm bringing you guys our GBA Week 6 Team Builder versus Nick, aka the coach of the Boston Red Sox, aka SuperBlah. If you are not subbed to him already, please check out his channel in the description below. He's a really cool guy, makes some great videos. Has a couple of Gen 4 stuff up there, which is really cool because I'm just starting to get into Gen 4, but regardless. Nick has a very, very scary team, a team that I had a lot of trouble building for. A team with a lot of bulk, a lot of immediate hard-hitting offense, some setup sweepers, and it's just very spooky. His team's very difficult to deal with, but I think I've built a team of 6 that hopefully will be able to take it on. So I'm not super confident. I think I'll be able to deal with it with the team that I am bringing. However, before we get into my team, let's bring over the list of mons he could possibly bring, which should be popping up on screen now. Nick has a Kyurem Black, Mega Venusaur, Skarmory, Jolteon, Alakazam, Feraligatr, Darmanitan, Drapion, Pangoro, Meowstic, and Rhydon. So, this is a very spooky team. Kyurem Black plus Mega Venusaur is a deadly combination to my team. Like, there's not a lot I have to deal with Mega Venusaur, and there's not anything I have to switch into Kyurem Black. Like, obviously, Bronzong resists both of its stabs and can take those hits very well, but with Terravolt, it'll be able to hit me with Earth Power and easily be able to 2-KO me. No matter what set that Kyurem is, it's going to be very scary for me. If it's Scarfed, that's bad. If it is, if it's sub 3 attacks, then it's bad. If it's sub Roost, then that's bad. No matter what it is, it's going to be bad. And then just regular Mega Venusaur is just going to be able to take hits from me left and right, so I definitely have to be very careful with that. Skarmory is like the only thing he has for Garchomp, even though I do have Fire Blast. If you ring Spidef, Fire Blast will not be able to 2-KO it. And Skarmory is just an annoyance, so I do have ways to punish that. Alakazam is spooky, don't have great switching to that thing, especially if he's Life Orb. Feraligatr, if it sets up, I'm kind of screwed. Darmanitan just hits me really hard immediately, and it's scary. Same with Pangoro. Like, he's got some fast cleaners, he's got some speedy-ish wall breakers, he's got some bulky-ish wall breakers, he's got both in, like, Kyurem Black, because that's, like, both bulky and kind of speedy at base 95. He's got fast cleaners like regular Alakazam. He's got fast electric types in Jolteon, both a fast electric type in Jolteon. He's got the bulk and Mega Venusaur Skarmory, so it's a very well put together team, and it's very threatening toward my own roster. But like I said, I think I've built a team of 6 that can handle his whatever team of 6 he brings. So without further ado, let's get into that team real quick. We're starting off with the Mega Manectric. It puts in a lot of work against his team. He has no electric immunity bar the Jolteon and the Rhydon, and I'm not sure if he'd want to hard switch this in, or hard switch his Rhydon in on a Mega Manectric because I could be carrying the HP Grass. I'm not, and I'll get into why in a bit. But Mega Manectric, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Overheat, and Hidden Power Fighting. His team's relatively electric weak. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. All I really needed. Overheat is so that I can hit the Mega Venusaur as hard as physically possible with this thing. This is the strongest move I get to possibly hit the Mega Venusaur. Not even, like, even if I ran HP Flying, it wouldn't do as much as Overheat, and, you know, if it's at, like, 30%, I will be able to knock it out with an Overheat, which is really nice, because Mega Venusaur is a big issue, if you haven't noticed, so being able to go for an Overheat is just going to be nice, if just getting damage on that Mega Venusaur. Even if I predict the switch into Mega Venusaur, go for an Overheat and get some good damage on it, I can make an aggressive switch into something else to threaten it out. So there's just a big part of my offensive presence here. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, standard moves on Mega Manectric, and then Hidden Power Fighting over Hidden Power Grass. So I'm running Hidden Power Fighting over Hidden Power Grass just to hit the Kyurem Black. Oh, I dropped my phone, that's good. Just to hit the Kyurem Black, because I cannot allow... Without Hidden Power Fighting, Kyurem Black can freely set up a sub on me. I can break the sub once with Overheat, but then after that, once I'm at -2, he'll be able to get up a free sub versus me, and I just can't really allow that super safely, because if it's behind a sub, it gets a kill, pretty much. So I need a way to break that sub, I need a way to hit that thing relatively hard before it sets up a sub, which is something I'll be able to do. If he switches into Kyurem Black, predicting a Volt Switch, and I go for Hidden Power Fighting, that'll be really nice. Hidden Power Fighting also does hit the Rhydon super effectively. It should be a 3-KO, it won't be a 2-KO because it's got very good natural bulk, plus the Eviolite is going to be really good, but at least I do have something to hit that Rhydon, and I do have things to wear down the Rhydon, so hopefully it's not going to be the biggest threat to my team. Like, as you can see, I have a Garchomp there, I have a Bronzong that can deal with it, a Selgor, PZ hurts it, so, like, I have things to do with the Rhydon, but it's very possible that he still brings it just as a stop to my Mega Manectric. But yeah, that is our Mega Manectric. We have a lot of speed on this thing. That is enough speed to outspeed. What am I outspeeding with this? I am blanking entirely on the speed. Oh, this I believe is enough for the Alakazam as well as... Oh no, this is enough speed for the Jolteon. Duh. Enough speed for the Jolteon. I outspeed a timid Jolteon, which is very nice. I was originally going to go modest and not care about the Jolteon, but I needed to go timid with the Alakazam for the Alakazam anyway, so I was like, you know what, might as well outspeed the Jolteon while we're at it. So that is our Mega Manectric. Moving on, we now have a pretty big win condition of the team here. This is a mon I was originally not going to bring versus Nick's team, but after seeing how much work this could possibly put in, I decided to definitely do it. His team's got a lot of speed, he's got a lot of offense, but this is a mon that can outspeed his offense, especially with a Choice Scarf. So we are running a Choice Scarfed Garchomp. First time this season. We got Earthquake, Outrage, Dragon Claw, and Fire Blast. Ground Dragon coverage hits his entire team neutrally or super effectively. Like Kyurem, Dragon Claw for Kyurem, Outrage for the Mega Venusaur once it's weakened, Fire Blast for the Skarmory, Earthquake for the Jolteon, any move against the Alakazam, any move against the Feraligatr, Earthquake for the Darmanitan, Earthquake for the Drapion, Dragon move Pangoro, Dragon move Meowstic, Earthquake for the Rhydon. So it hits everything either neutrally or super effectively, aside from the Skarmory, which if he is a physically defensive Skarmory, I will be able to 2 a KO with the Fire Blast. Even if he is Spadef, I have a decent chance to 2 a KO it after rocks anyway, so that is why I am running Fire Blast over Fire Fang. Obviously hits it on the special side where it is more frail. So, yeah, not too much to go over with this thing, but have to keep in mind, I essentially want to get myself to a point where I can win the game by spamming either Outrage or Earthquake. So I need to weaken the Mega Venusaur, and then I need to get rid of the Skarmory. It would be very nice to click Fire Blast on an incoming Skarmory, but, like I said, just the earlier I get rid of Skarmory, the better it is going to be for me, which I think I can definitely do, considering I have Mega Manectric, and an offensive PZ and Taunt on Mandibuzz, which I'll get into a little bit. Spoilers for the rest of the team, I suppose. But yeah, I have other ways to deal with Skarmory that I will hopefully be able to benefit from. So that is our Scarfed Garchomp. It'll be able to outspeed the Scarfed Kyurem Black if he brings a Scarfed Kyurem Black. It'll be able to outspeed Jolteon that is not Scarfed. It can outspeed Alakazam that is not Scarfed and OHKO it. It can outspeed a Feraligatr at +1 into a KO it, which is really nice. It can outspeed Darmanitan and knock it out, Drapion and knock it out, Pangoro and do a lot of damage to it. So it's just a big offensive threat to his team. I'm hoping to get as much chip damage on things as possible, which I'm hoping to do with hazards. And as you'll see here, these two here are going to be our hazard setters, Spikes Acelgor and Rocks on my Bronzong. And speaking of Bronzong, let's get into it real quick. So this is definitely an interesting set that we're running on this Bronzong here. Gyro Ball, Psychic, Grass Knot, and Stealth Rock. So I was originally going to run, I believe it was Explosion on this thing, or it might have even been Earthquake just to hit the Drapion. But Gyro Ball, I needed... Oh, well, let's go over Grass Knot first. I needed Grass Knot because otherwise that Feraligatr just sets up all over me. Because it resists the Gyro Ball, I will not be able to do any damage to it, even as it sets up Dragon Dances. So I can at least 3-hit KO it with this. And as long as I keep it below +2, I will be able to outspeed it with my Scarfed Garchomp and be able to knock it out. I also do have an Acelgor that can outspeed it at +1 as well, so as long as I keep that thing below +2, we are fine. Plus with Intimidate on Manectric, I may be able to pivot around it. Mandibuzz should be able to take a hit anyway. So Feraligatr is a relatively big threat. It doesn't get a lot of setup opportunities. This would be the only thing that it could possibly set up on. Mandibuzz is Foul Play. Porygon Z knocks it out. Acelgor has a lot of damage, does a lot of damage to it. Garchomp does a lot of damage to it. Manectric it obviously doesn't want to stay in on, so I need that Grass Knot to make sure that the Feraligatr cannot set up on me. Psychic is to hit the Mega Venusaur. It will not be a 2-hit KO because Mega Venusaur is really fat and Bronzong doesn't have the best special attack, but it is something to get good damage off on the Mega Venusaur, which is really nice because assuming it does not have knockoff, though it definitely could, if it does not have knockoff, I can just spam Psychic versus that thing, and it will not be able to touch me. Obviously, Giga Drain will do nothing to me, it can't Toxic me, it can put me to sleep, I suppose, but that's totally fine. I'm not entirely sure if he'd run Sleep Powder because I do have Overcoat on Mandibuzz that he knows about, so he may not want to bring it because he thinks, you know, I can switch into Mandibuzz, absorb the Sleep Powder, etc. So I'm not entirely sure if he would do that. And then Gyro Ball, of course, just to hit the majority of his team. Like, it hurts the Kyurem Black, it hurts the Jolteon surprisingly well because obviously it's a Jolteon, it's very fast. Brings Alakazam down to its sash, can do some decent damage to the Darmanitan, same to the Drapion, assuming it's not bulky, And then not a lot of damage to Rhydon, but Grass Knot also hits the Rhydon as well. So that is that. Especially defensive, that's just to deal with the Kyurem as best as possible. I'm still 2 KO'd by Life Orb Earth Power. In fact, I may even be 2 KO'd by Scarfed Earth Power. I will check that out before the battle, or if I have to calc it during the battle. But yeah, Grass Knot is just, like I said, Grass Knot hits the Rhydon super effectively, easy 2 KO there, and then just stop the Feraligatr from setting up all over my face. So that is Bronzong. This is our rocker. Something I want to point out, while his team is very, very scary, his only form of hazard removal is Defog on Skarmory, which is really nice because I can set up my hazards, and while my team is a little bit weak to hazards, having 2 things that are weak to it, one of them being one of my premier walls in Mandibuzz, that means that I can possibly hazard stack him, and once he is hazard stacked, that is awesome for me, because I'm closer to my goal of sweeping with Scarfed Garchomp. So now, with Bronzong out of the way, let's move into our next hazard setter here. Let me just get the... There we go. That's very important. Nicknames. Okay, perfect. So, what we have here is an offensive Sash Lead, a Selgor, Bug Buzz, Focus Blast, Energy Ball, and Spikes. Energy Ball, of course, is to knock out the Rhydon. If it's Spadef, I will be an easy 2 KO. Focus Blast is my hardest hitting move to hit the Skarmory. It could run HP Fire, but I do also want to run Focus Blast to hit the Pangoro, as well as the Kyurem Black. And then Bug Buzz for General Stab. If he is a sub Kyurem, I will be able to hit that thing from behind the sub if I want to, and hopefully, if he's low enough, I'll be able to knock it out. Also hits the Mega Venusaur hard, hits the Jolteon hard, the Alakazam. If he's a sub Alakazam, I knock that thing out from behind the sub. Does good damage to pretty much anything. Bug is typically a good offensive type versus a lot of these teams. Nyx is an example of that, and the rest of my coverage kind of just deals with everything else. Relatively self-explanatory. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to lead with this. This is more than likely going to be my lead because I do want to get my spikes up, but I feel like rocks are going to be a little bit more important in this match. But I also don't want... I don't want to lead with Bronzong and then have him lead with Darm and then me have no good switch into it. So I'm not entirely sure what I would do in that situation. I might lead with Bronzong if he has Darm and I just might hard switch into Mandibuzz or something like that, but yeah, this is our Selgor. Possible lead, definitely a possible lead. Like I said, outspeeds Feraligatr at +1, which is really nice, and I can 2 KO it with the Energy Ball. If he's SD Aqua Jet, then my Garchomp and Manectric can deal with it. Even, like, he'd have to wear my team down a lot in order to clean up with +2 Aqua Jet late game, so I'm not entirely afraid of that. But yeah, outspeed Feraligatr at +1, outspeed his entire team, which is really nice, bar like a Scarfed Kyurem Black, but like I said, not sure what item he would bring. If it is Scarfed, it's going to be mind games on whether he should go for Ice Beam or Earth Power or whatnot. So yeah, that's just our Selgor. Big part in this match because Hazards versus his team, very good. So with that being said, let us know. Ooh, tournament. What's this? Gen 5 OU. Alright, nobody wants that. Next up, once again, a mon that does not have its nickname for whatever ungodly reason. Duck Bill Burb. Perfect. Alright, so we have a Choice Specs Porygon Z, and this is a big wall breaker through his team. This is one of the things that's going to help me the most break through his team. Because when you look at his team, he's got things like Mega Venusaur, Skarmory, even Drapion can be kind of bulky, Rhydon, things like that. And Porygon Z will be able to get a switch into all of those and just click Specs Tri Attack and do massive damage to things. This is an easy 2 KO on the Mega Venusaur. If it is not a Spadef Skarmory, Tri Attack will be able to 2 KO that, and if it is a Spadef Skarmory, I 2 KO with Discharge. Only reason I'm running Discharge over Thunderbolt is because I literally do not need the extra power of Thunderbolt, so if I'm in a situation where I need to try and paralyze something to win, there you go, going for that. And then Hidden Power Grass is, of course, just for the Rhydon, which still can possibly live one, because Rhydon, like I said, very bulky with the Violet and whatnot, but that's my best hitting move to hit it. Could run Ice Beam, but Hidden Power Grass just hits a little bit more, so I might as well. And then Trick, because like I said, don't need any more coverage, so hopefully, or maybe I can just come in late game, trick something, and then deal with the rest of this team later on, or maybe I don't want to be choice locked anymore, like I want to switch up between Tri Attack and Discharge for whatever reason, I can do that. So yeah, the option is there for me to do that. This is another mon I'm hoping to put in a lot of work this week. He doesn't have switch-ins to Specs Tri Attack. The best switch-ins he has is Spadef Skarm, which still takes up to 44%, I believe, and then Rhydon, which I hit with the Hidden Power Grass, and does not have reliable recovery, and I have a safe switch-in into Bronzong, unless he's offensive with Fire Punch. So that is our Porygon-Z. Choice specs, enough speed to outspeed. I believe this is an Adamant Kyurem Black, in case he decides to bring that. I'm pretty sure he'd bring Jolly or Naive or Timid or whatever plus speed nature he'd want to bring, but this is just in case he brings like an Adamant Kyurem Black. So now we have our Porygon-Z covered. Let us now move on to the last member of our team, Womandabuzz. So I typed in half the nicknames and then just gave up apparently. But anyway, Mandibuzz is going to be another very key player in this match, because its role is not 100% decided at this moment, but it's going to be decided whenever we get into the match and when I see his team. Its role could be to taunt the Skarmory to stop it from setting up rocks or defogging. It could be to taunt the Mega Venusaur and switch into the Mega Venusaur to deal with that thing, because even though physically defensive, I will be able to take hits from Mega Venusaur anyway, because Mandibuzz is good to def. This is the big switch into my to his Pangoro, because it's the only thing I have to switch into Pangoro. This also, if, like, suppose it's Mandibuzz versus Kyurem Black, I'm probably just clicking Foul Play, because I don't want that thing setting up a sub on me. And, I kind of need that thing to not be behind a sub, so if it's, and that's the big reason I have the Yachi Berry, so I can live a Life Orb Ice Beam, hit it with a Foul Play, get off a lot of damage on that thing, because it has a very high attack stat, and then move on with my life. It may possibly be fully specially offensive, I can definitely see that, because all he really needs is like Ice Beam, Earth Power, let's see, would he need physical coverage from my team? I'm not entirely sure if he'd need physical coverage, because that pretty much just hits the rest of my team, but regardless, it's still got a very high attack stat, and Foul Play will do a lot of damage to it, even though it does have good natural bulk. Can also U-turn out versus things that I taunt. So, like, suppose I taunt the Skarmory, I know he's not going to want to stay in because he can't do anything to me. I can click U-turn as he switches out. Same thing with the Mega Venusaur. I taunt it, I wear it down with Foul Play. When I think he's going to switch out, click U-turn, we're good. I should be able to outspeed the Venusaur, because I have 20 speed EVs. May even add to that before the match, just so I make sure I can outspeed, but I also want to be as physically defensive as possible, so that I can take on the Darmanitan and the Pangoro, because if you look at my team, once Mandibuzz and once Garchomp are gone, Darmanitan clicks Flare Blitz and wins the game, essentially. Like, I think Manectric can live one after the Intimidate, but it doesn't want to, and yeah, just, I need both of these things for a Scarf Darmanitan, essentially. Either that or I need Rock. That's the big reason I need Rocks up as soon as possible, so that Darmanitan is not the biggest issue on the planet. But yeah, he may not even bring Darmanitan, because I do have Garchomp that I could bring as a Tank Chomp, and then he clicks Flare Blitz and kills himself in like 2 hits. But it's definitely possible, because it just puts so much work onto my team. But yeah, Mandibuzz, I'm making this another bulky pivot, like I have used it previously. It's just, I need this thing to be the pivot that I know it is. Like, I mean, that's a weird way to put it, but I need it to kind of deal with the Venusaur, deal with the Skarmory, deal with the Alakazam. This is like my only Alakazam switch-in on my team, bar the Split F Bronzong, which will probably be my immediate switch-in, and I do check Alakazam offensively anyway. Scarf Garchomp, Mega Manectric, a Selgor outspeeds it, knocks it out, so Alakazam's not the biggest threat, but I still don't have great switch-ins to it. It can kind of deal with the Drapion, assuming it does not have Taunt. Not necessarily deal with the Drapion, but I can at least U-turn out versus the Drapion, which is nice. Deals with the Meowstic very well. I can taunt that after it does whatever it wants to do. Can even taunt the Rhydon. I can take a Stone Edge relatively well, and then I can taunt that so it doesn't get up rocks. So this Mandibuzz is very key versus his team, and I'm hoping to preserve it. Hopefully I can keep rocks off the field for as long as possible, because I do outspeed both of his rockers in Skarmory and Rhydon, so I hopefully will be able to taunt them before they set up rocks. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say about this team. Like I said, I'm not super confident in the matchup, but I think I will be able to pull through with the team that I built. This somewhat, not necessarily hyper-offense team, but probably the most offensive team that I've built. Like, I have 4 straight-up offensive things, and then I have 3 attacks, Rocks Bronzong, and then Pivot Mandibuzz. So kind of, I guess, like a hyper-bulky offense combination thing, but I've been going on for a little while. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to the match, which will be up tomorrow, more than likely on Showdown, because of Nick's internet situation, which I'm totally fine with. I'm very comfortable on Showdown. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next time. I will see you in the next time. Yeah, I'll see you in the next time, guys. In the next timeline.